Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shafqatullah and my roll number is BSACF 17M042. The topic today I want to discuss is supply chain management. Meaning and definition of supply chain management. A supply chain is a network of supplier, manufacturing, assembly, distribution and logistics facilities that perform the function of a procurement of material, the transformation of this material into intermediate and finished products, and the distribution of these products to customers. According to Professor Douglas M. Lambert, supply chain management is the integration of business processes from the end user through original supplier who provide products, services and information that adds value for the customers. Definition of supply chain management. According to Ganeshan and Harrison, the supply chain is a network of facilities and distribution options that perform the function of procurement of material, transformation of these materials into intermediate and finished products, and the distribution of these finished products to customers. Types of supply chain management: raw supply chain management, RAP supply chain, internal supply chain, extended supply chain, self-monitored supply chain, outsourced supply chain. What is raw supply chain? Raw supply chain is one of the basic type of supply. It is very lightly organized and most of the systems and processes are followed from the legacy. Organization adopting raw supply chains often suffer from various departmental soils. However, they maintain appropriate coordination among them, which provides better visibility to the organization's processes and operation. RIP supply chain. This type of supply chain exists in situations where organizations are satisfied with what they have achieved and whatever needs to be achieved. RIP supply chain have well organized activities and improved relationship with distributors and suppliers. However, a small portion of information flows through this type of supply chains. What is internal supply chain? They are the most common types of supply chains and can be easily found in organization where ERP packages and organizational internal operational are well coordinated and managed. Extended supply chain. Extended supply chains are an extension of the internal supply chain concept. These are nothing but well established internal supply chains which extend beyond the boundaries of the organization to include external stakeholders like distributors and suppliers. However, the focus is only on the topmost distributors and suppliers. Self-monitor supply chain. In this type of supply chain, the manufacturing company becomes the center and takes the lead in bringing all the partners and suppliers in its supply chain. The self-monitor supply chains are company-centric and not customer-centric. What is the last type? Outsourced supply chain. Under these supply chains, outsourced supply chains, which are typically in the form of 3PL logistics partners, take care of all the aspects of the supply chain: outbound logistics, inbound logistics, relationship, etc. They take all the critical decisions and also monitor the working of the supply chain. Move on. Essential feature of supply chain management. Integrated behavior. Supply chain management incorporates integration of stakeholders from supplier, customers Mutually sharing information. For effective supply chain management, mutually sharing information among channel members is required, especially for planning and monitoring processes. Mutually sharing channel risk and reward. Effective supply chain management also requires mutually sharing channel risks and reward that yield a competitive advantage. Risk and reward sharing should happen over the long term, focus and cooperation among the supply chain members. Cooperation among channel members is required for effective supply chain management. Cooperation refers to similar or complementary coordinated activities performed by a firm in a business relationship to produce superior mutual outcomes or singular outcomes that are mutually expected over time. Focus on serving customers. Supply chains succeed if all the members of the supply chain have the same goal and the same focus on serving customers. Establishing the same goal and same focus among supply chain members is a form of policy integration. Integration of processes. The implementation of supply chain management needs the integration of processes from sourcing to manufacturing and distribution across the supply chain. The integration can be accomplished through cross-functional terms, in-planet supplier personnel, and third-party service providers. Partner to build and maintain long-term relationship. Successful relationship aim to integrate channel policy to avoid redundancy and overlap while seeking a level of cooperation that allow participants to be more effective at lower cost level. At lower cost level, policy integration is possible if there are compatible cultures and management techniques among the chain members. Objective of supply chain management: service orientation, system orientation, competitiveness and efficiency, minimizing the time, minimizing work in progress, improving pipeline visibility, improving visibility demand, improving quality, reduces transportation cost, and reducing warehousing cost. What is services? Service orientation means service to customer. The very basis of supply chains has been to provide superior customer service. Service is all about the value that the customer gets, which in turn depend upon his perception about what constitutes value. The design, the alignment, the integration of the companies and the supply chain, and the coordination between them are all for the customer, the ultimate customer, and these are performed as such. System orientation. System orientation is at the existence of any supply chain. Synergy due to cooperation and coordination is the main gain of supply chain. This entails that while getting optimal results for the chain as a whole, results for the partners on the chain may not necessarily be optimal. These could be less than optimal. Competitiveness and efficiency. Supply chain is a business organization. It provides value to the customers while being competitive. Competitiveness is essential for it to healthy sustain itself to be able to provide increased value to its customer. Efficiency is an important element of competitiveness. Minimizing the time. Efficient supply chain is an organization that reduces the time required for converting orders into cash, so there is a minimal time lag and an increase in productivity of the organization. Minimizing work in progress. Supply chain minimize total work in process in the supply chain. Improving pipeline visibility. Efficient supply chain improve the visibility of each one of the activities of the supply chain by each one of the partner. Improving visibility demand. Efficient supply chain improve visibility of demand by each one of the partner. Improving quality. Efficient supply chain management help in improving the quality of operation of the organization. So efficient supply chain management help in improving the quality of operation of the organization. TQM, total quality management, has become a major commitment throughout all facets of the industry. Overall commitment to total quality management is one of the major commitments throughout all facets of the industry. Component of supply chain management: procurement, processing, distribution. What is procurement? It is the process of getting the goods and materials your company needs, while supply chain management is the process of transforming those goods into products and distributing them to customers as efficiently as possible. What is processing? The supply chain management process includes the building blocks of supply chain management or strategic planning, demand planning, supply planning, procurement, manufacturing, warehousing, order fulfillment, and transportation business process. And what is the distribution? That is a management system within logistics that is focused on order fulfillment throughout distribution channels. A distribution channel is the chain of agents and entities that a product or service moves through on its way from its point of origin to a customer. Factor influencing supply chain management: customer demand, consumer demand, globalization, competition, information and communication, government regulation, environment. So, what is consumer demand? Demand planning is a supply chain management process of forecasting or predicting the demand for products to ensure they can be delivered and satisfy consumer. The goal is to strike a balance between having sufficient inventory levels to meet customer needs without having a surplus. Globalization. In regards to supply chain management, globalization refers to the process in which a business operates on an international scale. Globalization trade offers companies the opportunity to reach new customers in new markets, which dramatically upsets how manufacturers need to operate to be successful. What is competition? Competition is related to the match between demand and supply in the competitive environment. When there is decreasing demand or excess supply in the marketplace, companies will need to offer lower prices or better quality to their customers to win their orders. Information and communication technology. The use of information and communication technology is the supply chain management has proven to have a positive impact in companies that have implemented it, particularly about procurement, since this enhances collaboration, improving the quality of information shared between suppliers and buyers. Government regulation. From the firm perspective, taxes or regulation or additional cost of production that shifts supply to the left, leading the firm to produce a lower quantity at every given price. Government subsidies reduces the cost of production and increase supply at every given price, shifting supply to the right. Environment supply chain management is a key part of a sustainable business strategy. It covers management of all significant environmental impacts from your company supply chain throughout the life cycle of products or services. Function of supply chain management. Supply chain management is a cross-functional approach to manage the movement of raw material into an organization. Certain aspects of the internal processing of material into finished goods and then the movement of finished goods out of the organization toward the end consumer. As organizations strive to focus on core competencies and become more flexible, they have reduced their ownership of raw material sources and distribution channels. Function of supply chain management. Strategic level. Strategic network optimization include the number, location, and size of warehousing, distribution centers, and facilities. Strategic partnerships with suppliers, distributors, and consumers, creating communication channels for critical information and operational improvements such as cross-docking, direct shipping, and third-party logistics. Product life cycle management so that new and existing products can be optimally integrated into the supply chain and capacity management activities. Information technology. It's the chain operation where to make and make buy decision, aligning overall organizational strategy with supply strategy. It is for the long term and needs resource commitment. Tactic level. Sourcing, contract, and other purchasing decisions. Production decisions including contracting, scheduling, and planning process definitions. Inventory decisions including quantity, location, and quality of inventory. Transportation strategy including frequency, routes, and contracting. Benchmarking of all operations against competitors and implementation of best practices throughout the enterprise. Milestone payments, a focus on customer demand and habits. Operational level. So daily production and distribution planning including all nodes in the supply chain. Production scheduling for each manufacturing facility in the supply chain, minute by minute. Demand planning and forecasting, coordinating the demand forecast of all customers and sharing the forecast with all suppliers. Sourcing planning including current inventory and forecast demand in all collaboration with all suppliers. Inbound operation including transportation from suppliers and receiving inventory. Production operations including the consumption of materials and flow of finished goods. Outbound operation including all fulfillment activities, warehousing and transportation to customers. Order promising, accounting for all constraints in the supply chain including all suppliers, manufacturing facilities, distribution centers, and other customers. From production level to supply level, accounting all transit damage cases and arrange to settlement at customer level. By maintaining company loss through an insurance company. Thank you.